Namaste, namaste, namaste. Guru Sri Devi Mata ki Jai. Eternal thoughts upon the form of our Guru, and we contemplate upon lotus form of our Guru. We pay obeisance to Adi Shankaracharya, Swami Shivananda, Swami Satchidananda, all over Swami Devi, Swami Devi, Swami Sadasivadanda. That's we pay obeisance to the lotus form of our Guru. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Vishnu Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Om Jnanatimiranyasya Chakshurumritam Mena Tasmai Shri Guru Guru Sri Guru Maharaj ki Jai. Platform of Bhagwan Shiva, as we pay obeisance unto you, Prabhu. Om Trayambakam Yajamahi Sugandham Pushtivaradhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityurmukshidam. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Har 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 Mahadev. Shiv Shankar Bhagwan ki Jai. Eternal thoughts. The lotus form of Prabhu Shri Ramchandra Ji will be hearing beautiful pravachan discourse for this evening as we pay obeisance to the Lord of the world in this universe. Om Ram Ramiti Ramiti Rame 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 Sahasranam Tatulyam Miram Shri Rama Rama Varanam. Om Ram Ramaya Bhadraya Ramachandaya Veerase Shri Raghunathaya Nathaya Sitaya Pate Siyapati Ramachandra ki Jai. Sita Devi Mata ki Jai. Eternal thoughts, eternal servant, in that wonderful form of Shri Hanumanji, as we pay obeisance unto you, Mahavir Swami. Om Sri Guru Charana Saro Tarja Nijaman Kura Sudari Varno Raghubal Vimanayasa Jodhayak Panachari Mudrehi Natanu Janike Suiro Pavan Kumar Balapuri Vidya Devi Arukale Shivita Syapati Ramachandra ki Jai. Sita Devi Mata ki Sri Paunaputra Hanuman ki Jai. Finally, we turn our thoughts to the form of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. Remember the dearly departed, the late Dr. Singh, and of course, we obeisance to a wonderful soul. We pray that may you, Bhagwan Shri Krishna, bring peace and burden and bring blessings to the dearly departed as well. Om Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kanchacharushimardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Shri Vrindavan Vihari Rahal ki Jai. Sarvadevi Sarvadevta ki Jai Sharanam Vijayate. So we're about to begin in terms of beautiful bhajans, kirtans, and obeisance to love. So we take this opportunity in glorification of the divine love. Om Ganganapate Namo Namah Sri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Ganpati Baba Moria Ganganapate Namo Namah Sri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Ganpati Baba Moria Om Ganganapate Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Ganpati Baba Moria Om Ganganapate Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Ganpati Baba Moria Om Ganganapate Namo Namah Shri Siddhi Vinayak Namo Namah Ashtavinayak Namo Namah Ganpati Baba Moria Om Ganganapate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramanandaya. 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 Namo Bhagavate Ramanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Ramanandaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya. 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 बोलो श्री गुरु महाराज की जय. श्री गुरुदेव Swami Shivananda Maharaj ki jai. And we always take opportunity to glorify in the Harinam Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Through the grace and darshan of divine acharyas, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he predicted that in every village, in every community, in every nagar, the holy name must be chanted. And as Vaishnavas, we glorify that wonderful form of Bhagwan Shri Krishna. And here, we are fortunate in the community of Lanchbach, Swamiji, right? To bring the darshan of the Maha Mantra, as well as glories to Swami Shivananda as well, who propagated, as we all know, as well, the Maha Mantra. As here, not only in us, in terms of human beings, we acquire the benefits of Harinam Sankirtan, but also all of the plant species and various animals that are around, the insects that are crawling on the ground, so to speak, they too get the benefit of hearing Nam Sankirtan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bolo Shri Guru Maharaj ki jai. Okay. So this beautiful bhajan today Friday, we dedicate in worship to the Divine Mother. It's beautiful rendition. Sarva Mangal Mangalye Srive Sarvata Sadike Sharanye Tramike Gauri Narayani Namaste Narayani Namaste Jai Jai Devi Amma Bhavani Mata Jai Jai Devi Amma Bhavani Mata Devi Amma Bhavani Mata 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 अम्मा भवानी माता, अम्मा भवानी माता, जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता, जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता। चरणों में मेरा जोड़े करूं तेरे चरणों में मेरा जय जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता, जय जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता, 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 जय जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता, जय देवी अम्मा भवानी माता। माँ तेरी ममता इतनी प्यारी, इतना प्यारी जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता इतनी प्यारी, इतना प्यारी जगाती है। श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करने, श्वास श्वास की रक्षा करती, पग पग प्राण बजाती है। इतना प्यार जगाती है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ तेरी माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ तेरी माँ। तू ऋषियों की तेरी सेवी, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू शंकर की शक्ति माँ, तू ऋषियों की बुद्धि से, तू ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ, तू विष्णु की माया देवी, तू
शंकर की शक्ति माँ,
तुमसे दूर मिलकर जीवन की सुनाती है माँ।
कितना प्यार जगाती है
माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ, कितना प्यार जगाती है। ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तेरी माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, तेरी माँ, ओ माँ, शक्ति माँ। आचकी जगदम्बा देवी माता की जय। So without further ado, I pass hello to Reverend Guruji, wonderful Swami Sadasivadanda.
ॐ सदाशिव समारम्भा शङ्कराचार्य मध्यमा अस्मदाचार्य पर्यन्तं वन्दे गुरु परम्परा। नमः शिवाय गुरुवे सच्चिदानन्द मूर्तये निष्प्रपञ्चाय शान्ताय निरालम्भेय तेजसे ॐ खण्डमण्डलाकारं व्यक्तं येन चराचरं तत्परं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ ज्ञानं ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानं ज्ञानं शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरा गुरुर्साक्षात्
परं ब्रह्म
तस्मै श्री गुरुवे
नमः।
ॐ नमो भगवते शिवानन्दाय ॐ नमो भगवते चिदानन्दाय ॐ नमो भगवते कृष्णानन्दाय ॐ नमो भगवते रामानन्दाय वन्दे गुरु परम्परा। वर्णानामर्हत सन्धानं रसानां छन्द सामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारो वन्दे वाणी विनायको भवानी शंकरो वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्व स्वरूपिणो याभ्यं विनान पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वन्तस्तमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरु शंकर रूपिणो यमस्कृतो देवकृपी चंद्रा सर्वाट वंदते सीताराम गुणग्राम पुण्यरण्य विहारणो वंदे शुद्ध विज्ञान कपीश्वर कपीश्वरो कपीश्वर कपीश्वरो। शुभ स्वागतम करता हूँ. Special welcome to all devotees joining tonight in Satsanga. Tonight, as we honor, as we pay tribute and respect to that Atma in the person of Dr. Roopnarine Singh, the late Roopnarine Singh, as we pray to Bhagavan Sri Hari, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, to gracefully take him across this Bhausagar, this ocean of duality, of birth and death. As we pray, may Bhagavan bring peace and solace and liberation and moksha to that Atma on this journey. This evening, as we join together with Shivananda Global Missions of the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sabha and all of the wonderful devotees here at the Gita Ashram, the Hindu Royal Society, joining with all of the members and devotees and the loved ones, family members, relatives, those who would have shared such inter and intrapersonal time with Dr. Singh. Tonight, once more, gives me a great privilege and honor being here with all of you, joining in satsang and pravachan. As we close our eyes, as we join in devotion to the Divine Lord, Madhyada Purushottam Shri Ram, Shri Bhagavan Katha, संत तुलसीदास जी कहते हैं श्री रामायण सुमिरन। जो सुमिरत सिद्धि हो गणनायक करि बद बदना जो सुमिरत सिद्धि हो गणनायक करि बद बदना करहु अनुग्रह सो बुद्धिराशि शुभ गुण सदना जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम होई वाचा पंगुचर गिरि वरगना जाशु कृपान सुदया प्रभु सकल कलिमल जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम नील सरोवर उषा सदा चिर सागर जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम इंदु सब दे मन नारायण जाहि दीन परने जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम वंदे गुरु पर जाशु बचन रवि धरणी करा जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम बंदो गुरु पर परम परागा जय सिया राम सूरज रस भय सुरवरागा जय सिया राम अमीय मोर मिय चारण चारु जय सिया राम समन सकल भव राज प्रभाव जय सिया राम सक्र शंभु भीम विभूति जय सिया राम मंगल मंगल मोदक शोधि जय सिया राम जन मन मंगल कमल हरणी जय सिया राम कोन विषकरणी जय सिया श्री गुरु परमनि रमण ज्योति जय सिया सुमिरन देव कृष्ण वै होती जय सिया गलन मोह तमसु प्रकाशु जय सिया भीम भात अवतारण जाशु जय सिया श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय सिया बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो राम राम सीता राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो राम राम सीता राम राम बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 बोलो राम 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 सीता राम 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 Ram, Sita Ram, 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 Bolo Ram, 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 Sita Ram, Ram, Ram. Om Ramaya Ramabhadraya
Ramachandraya Vedase
Raghunathaya Nathaya
Sitaye Patiye Namaha
Nilam Bhujasham Malakopalangam Sita Sumaru Pitubhavubhagam Pano Maha Shayak Charu Chapam Namami Ramam Raghuvanshanatam Om Jagadguru Shivananda Saraswati Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Sadguru Ramananda Saraswati Maharaj Ki Jai Siyavar Ram Chandra Ki Jai Shri Ramachandra Kripa Lubhaju Mana Dharana Pavabhai Dharunam Navakam Jalochan Kamcha Mukha Parakam Parakam Dharunam Shri Ramachandra Kripa Lubhaju Mana Pavabhai Arunam Navatam Jalochan Namjamukapar Shri Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Iti Vanda Tulasidas Shankara Shesha Muni Man Namjaram Mama Hirdaya Kancha Nivasa Guruta Mana Bhasharat Nandaram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Siyavar Ram Chandra Ki Jai Shubh Swagatam Karta Hu once more to all devotees joining, all Panditjis, Panditas, a special welcome once more, joining tonight in Pravachan, in Katha, to the Divine Lord, the illustrious feet of the Lord Madhyada Purushottam, Shri Ramchandra. Tonight's Katha is taking us into Aranya Kanda of the Sri Ram Charitramanasa. Aranya Kanda. When we listen to Ram Katha, it is as though we have planted a tree and we are looking at the parts of the tree blossom and grow. As there are several parts to Ram Katha, beginning with Bal Kand, beginning with Ayodhya Kand, Kiskinda Kand, Iranya Kand. And as we build these Kands, we are forming this tree, this fruitful tree of life. And what will happen with a tree? A tree will bear fruits, and the fruits will partake thereof to sustain life itself. We would partake of the fruits thereof so that life in its continuum will happen. Bhagavan Sri Ram has laid the foundation for us coming in this world, and so by planting the seed is growing, and by watering it, by nurturing it each day through devotion, we are able to see these branches grow, and then the leaves grow, and then the flowers blossom, and then the fruits will come. And so, through Aranya Kanda, we are seeing that Ram Katha presents itself with these beautiful branches of the tree that are now spreading ucha nicha ekasaman. It is going beyond our very comprehension, beyond our very imagination. And so Bhagavan is preparing us in this wonderful kanda of Aranya Kanda. What is bhakti? What is bhakti all about? How can we really perform bhakti to God? And how do we know we're performing bhakti to God? Bhakti, devotion is unconditional. And until we have understand that we are performing unconditional bhakti or service to God without attachments, I'm going to do this for this. No. I am doing bhakti because I know it is going to merge me closer to Bhagavan, and this is all I want to attain: the mercy of the Lord, the darshan of the Lord. And so tonight's katha, we see a very pious individual. Even from the age of 12, she left home because there were certain pressures upon her to conform to society, the societal norms that you must get married because this is what the tradition is, this is what the duty is. And she says, no, I am not prepared for marriage. I am not prepared for this stage of the Grihas life. I am still in my learning stages. I have not even understood yet my own self. How can I even join into a relationship to understand somebody else? And she took her little jewelry and she began running into the forest. And so, from the tender age of 12 years old, she found her guru, Matang Rishi. In finding Matang Rishi, he welcomed her into the ashram, the parampara. And so, being this Kumari, being an ardent devotee of the Lord, Prabhu Sri Ram, she learned all of the many intricate formulas, mystical mantras, and so devoted her life to the ashram and to the seva. Whom is this individual? None other than Shivari Mata. She spent her entire life from the age of 12 years old growing into Ban, growing into the forest under the guidance of her guru. She learned when others would have snared at her, when others would have caused her great pain and agony because of her caste, because of her disposition, because she was a woman. Here, Gurudev, Matang Rishi, opened his ashram doors, welcomed her, taught her puja vidhi, and so she was able to perform devotion, not just devotion, unconditional devotion to God. And so time has passed, and as time passed, something happened. On one fateful day, as Shevari Mata, performing her duties as she would normally do eloquently, she will sweep the kutia, she will sweep the shivala, She would mop the Shrivala. She will prepare for the evening Sandhya Puja. And in the process of doing so, she will go and gather flowers and fruits to worship Hari, Bhagwan, Prabhu Shri Ram. But ensuring that it is the best for God, Shivari, with that insatiable desire, will pick the fruit and take her very dupatta and rub each fruit. And then, looking at it, she is examining it and she's saying, is this good enough for my Lord? Is this pure enough for my Lord to consume? I am going to offer this in Sri Krishna Arpanam. Twadeva Vasta Govindam Twadeva Samara Priyam Grihanam Sanamuko Bhutva Prasidhi Purushottamam. I will offer it in prasad, in offerings. Is it good enough for my Lord to receive? And so, looking at this fruit, she decides to take a taste. And so, she ate the fruit. She bit the fruit. And so, tasting this very fruit, she now realizes that this one isn't sweet enough. This one isn't sweet enough for my Lord. So what does she do? She put it aside. And here she goes again, picking another one. And so what happens? Ramkatha tells us. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama. Bolo. Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Mukhavachanana Ava Puni Puni Padava Saroja Sura Nava Sadhara Jala Maithara Pari Puni Samudra Asara Metari Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Palasura Ati Dhari Rama Kula Ananaki Deva Sahita Prabhu Sahib Bhari Bhatami Shri Rama Bhatami Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Ram, Jaya Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama. Jaya Ram, Shri Ram, Jaya Rama, Jaya Ram, Shri Rama, Jaya Jaya Rama, Shri Rama, Jaya 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 Shri Ram, Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram. Prabhu Shri Ram Chandra ki Jai. Kamda Moola Pala Sahasa Ati Nari Ram Bhaguda Ati Prema Sahita Prabhu Khani. And so Devi Shivari Mata, picking the fruit, wiping the fruit, seeing how edible it is, and long as it has passed the test, by tasting this fruit, Devi Shivari Mata will place it into her basket and carefully now bring it to the ashram. And when she's bringing it to the ashram, she's singing Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Bolo everybody. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Shivari is chanting the name of the Lord, Prabhu Shri Ram, joyfully in her heart, picking this fruit, the kanda moola pala. And so she's bringing it in her basket. And she's saying, Lord, when I present this to you, I am offering it with all my gratitude. I am offering it with humility. I am offering it with bhakti. And so, with that love in her heart for Bhagwan Sri Ram, she closes her eyes and she is journeying home. She is chanting, Lord, I wonder, when would you come? When would you come and visit me? Look at my age. Look at my hair. Look at my skin. I am feeling so very feeble, so very weak. When would you come, O Lord? My humble request is for you to show up at my doorstep. Tere dwar kara Bhagavan. May you show up at my doorstep, Prabhu, for I am longing to see you. I am longing for your darshan. Darshana do ghanasham naat mori akiyan nyari de Prabhu. I need your darshan. And so she chanted with love, Prabhu Shri Ram, when would you come? When would you grace me, O Lord? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Prabhu Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Siya Ram, 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 Siya Ram. Ram ke bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. Syavar Ram Chandra ki Jai. By chanting the name of the Lord, she arrives at the mandir and she places her basket. She places the basket by the altar. And just then, as Matang Rishi, her guru enters. And so, placing pranams at the feet of her guru, she now goes and she sits at the doorstep of the mandir, allowing the Guruji and allowing the holy Vipras, the Brahmanas, to perform their evening sandhya. So they would have received the flowers. But there was this special one that she kept. in her urni. The special one that she kept, the special one that she tasted, she kept it in her urni and she sat by the doorstep. And while Matang Rishi, they began chanting the evening. Swastendro vridashravaha swastena puka vishwavedaha swastena saksho arishthanemi swasteno brihaspati dadatu deepa jyotir parabrahma deepa jyotir janatana. And so by lighting the diya, by offering pranams at that Sandhya hour, doing their Sandhya Puja, she sat at the doorstep holding on to this very fruit and she closes her eyes in meditation. But what is happening? Bhagavan Sri Ram is in search for Devi Sita because Devi Sita was abducted by Ravana and now he's looking for her. He's looking for his consort. Oh, where are you? Where are you, Devi Sita? Where could you be? Where did this villain Ravan take you to? And he's looking with his younger brother Lakshmana. They're looking everywhere. Where can you be, O Devi Sita? And so, by looking for Devi Sita, they traversed into this direction where this beautiful hut, this beautiful ashram of Matang Rishi is. And in the distance, Bhagavan Sri Ram and his younger bhaiya Lakshmana, they are journeying towards this hut, towards this very ashram. And so, coming into this area, looking for Devi Sita, thinking that perhaps she would have ventured into this area, not knowing that Sri Ram is coming to meet one of his most ardent bhaktas. And so, there is Devi. She clasps this very fruit in her hands and she's saying, Lord, I have picked this specially for you. I have used my very own hands to perpetually pick this fruit and offer to you. So she's praying, when would you come? When would you come? And so, devotees, at that very moment, as Devi Shivari Ma ponders upon Bhagwan Sri Ram is making every footstep towards her. And before Shivari, Sri Ram appears and calls out to Shivari Ma. He calls out to her. And when Shivari opens her eyes, she sees that form, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma, seeing that beautiful form of Mahavishnu through her very diminished eyes, she sees Sri Ram, seeing the form of Lord Vishnu. And so she drops at the feet of the Lord Sri Ram, holding on to the feet of the Lord Sri Ram. She could not contain herself. She begins to lament. She begins to cry out, Hey Prabhu, I've been searching for you for the longest while. I have been asking the question, when would you come? When would you come to take me out of this despair and this anguish, O Lord? And so Sri Ram bodily lifted her up. O Mata, have no fear. I am here. Do not cry. Do not lament. Wipe those tears. And so Sri Ram took his very own kanhawar and he wiped the tears of Devi Shivari. And so she remembers now she have this fruit to offer. And she says, Lord, prasadam, I have prasadam for you. And you know, Lakshmana, he's looking. Lakshmana, he's watching. He says, Sri Ram, that fruit has already been bitten. That has already been tasted. How can you eat that? So Sri Ram looks at him. She says, "O Lakshmana, you will not understand. Though one may classify it to be jute pal, the fruit has been jutad, we would say. But it is the amount of devotion that was placed in this to ensure that it is the best quality. You know, Mahashivratri just went a little while ago, and we're preparing for the Navratri, and then Sri Hanuman Jayanti coming. But on the evening of the very Shivratri, a lot of devotees would have gone to the supermarket and would have gone to the grocery and would go to get, of course, fruits. And you know what are the strange things that I have observed over the years? Going to purchase these fruits, we will look for the best fruits in the supermarket, in the grocery. But the moment we touch base home and you begin to sort it now, you decide this is going to the mandir and this share I will keep for home, for the refrigerator. You know what we do? We will take the worst looking ones, the ones that is, yeah, a little bit squashed or scratched or squeezed and discolored, and put that one side. I'll put that to carry. But the best bananas and the best apples and the best fruits, we will store it away for ourselves. We'll keep it for ourselves. And you know how we recognize this? When the devotees are coming up to make their offerings, they bring their thali and they fill it with all of the fruits and all of the different mithais and all of the things that they will have brought to offer. Yes, you are doing a good gesture. You are coming to worship Bhagwan. But why not give God the best? Why didn't you keep the squeezed off one for yourself and place the best ones for Bhagwan that you're going to offer to Lord? They come with the thali, and Panditji is about to bless the prasad. And when you look at the fig, you say, "Oh, Bhagwan, look at it. Even you wouldn't eat it, and you're offering it to Bhagwan Shiv? Tell me, is that nice?" I don't think that is nice. Giving Bhagwan something like that. The apple fell on the ground, so it have a little dent, That one is good for me. I will put that. Let it go to the temple. This is the thought. But what did Shevari do? Shevari said, "Lord, I'm giving you the best. I'm tasting it too, to make sure it's sweet. Because even though from this bunch of bananas, a bunch of grapes, and so I don't know which one is sweet. So I'm tasting it to make sure it is the best for you, Bhagwan. Because we can only give you the best, Prabhu. We can only give you the best." Sabse uchi prem sadai.
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सर, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सराई,
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई,
ऊंची प्रेम सराई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सराई,
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई।
मेरो त्याग, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सगाई,
सबसे ऊंची
सदाई।
प्रेम के बसेरे झूले रत लागा, प्रेम के बसेरे झूले रत लागा, बहुदीदी प्रेम लगाई
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सदाई, ऊंची प्रेम सदाई।
सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सदाई,
प्रेम सदाई, सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सदाई। श्री रामचंद्र की जय। सबसे ऊंची प्रेम सदाई। In every being and everything see God. Everything see God. सबसे in everything. प्रेम सदाई. Prem is love. सबसे everything, everyone, in everyone, in everyone, in everything see Bhagwan, see God. And so Sri Ram takes this phal and he tastes it and he says, very good, अच्छी है, सब अच्छी है, very good. And so Lakshmana, he is a little bit in a different mode, you know. He's saying, Sri Ram, but I tell you, don't taste this fruit. Would you eat the fruit? Now he turns around to the other side and he says, I am not going to talk to you for the day because you tasted this fruit and I told you not to taste this fruit. Why you don't listen to me sometime? You see? Why you don't listen to me sometime? The same thing I was saying, and he's walking away and he's talking and he's saying, same thing I was saying, you know, it's the same thing because I told Sri Ram I didn't want to leave Devi Sita alone, and now we left Devi Sita alone. And at that moment in time, Ravan came and abducted Devi Sita, and I was telling Sri Ram, you know, that I didn't want to leave her alone, and he said, leave, that is okay, we should be safe. We're going to put the Lakshman Rekha around the area. And Lakshmana is talking and he's walking away, you know, he's upset. Kya hai? What is happening? Sri Ram says to Devi, don't worry, he'll be okay. He will be okay. Time he walks so and come back, he'll be good. Jai Bhagwan. So, Sri Ram says, oh Devi, I know in your heart, insatiably, you have been waiting for me for many, many years. I am now 85. She's 85 years. And being 85 years, she has been chanting the name of the Lord constantly, continuously, every day of her life, chanting the name of God because she doesn't know when Bhagwan will come. Do we know when God will come? We don't know when God will come to our doorstep, but we prepare ourselves. We don't know also in which form Bhagwan will come to our doorstep also. So we prepare. We always prepare. We have an open heart and an open mind. But not in today's society. It's a little bit dangerous now. We say, you know, keep the gates closed, put the alarm on, beep, 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 beep. We are not too sure. Look at the cameras, make sure who is coming. Did they call first? Make sure they call first before coming. Is Bhagwan going to do that? He's going to show up our doorstep, my dear friends. Of course, we live in a day and time, an age. We have to be intelligent about it. This is why Bhagwan has given us Gyan Vairagya Bhakti Shubhadehi. He has given us the Gyan, the knowledge to know the difference. To know. Obviously, we would know. We will know when Bhagwan Sri Ram is coming because he is going to present himself in a way that he is clean, Saucha, that he is dutiful and beautiful, that charisma is there. And of course, that beautiful vision, the sight Bhagwan will give us also. We know that the Lord is indeed gracious. He is that omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient being of this world. So, Bhagwan Sri Ram presents himself to Devi Sevari. And Devi Mata now, she is saying, "Oh Lord Sri Ram, I can't believe that you are here. I can't believe that you are in front of me. And now what is happening?" She cries and she says to Sri Ram, "Jai Ram, Sri Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Jai Sita Rama, Jai Sita Rama, Jai Sita Rama, Jai Sita Rama, Jai Rama, Sri Rama, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Jai Sita Rama, Jai Sita Rama,
Jai Sita Rama, Jai Sita Rama.
Sri Rama Raghu Rama, Sri Rama Raghu Rama, Sri Ram Sita Rama, Jai Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Rama, Jai Jai Ram.
पानी जोर आगे भय आहारी प्रभु नय भोल भाई कहा विधि अस्तुते कर तुम्हारी अधम जाति मम भारी श्री राम रघु रामा श्री राम रघु रामा श्री राम सीता राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय सीता राम जय सीता राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय सीता 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 राम. There she falls at the feet of the Lord Prabhu Shri Ramachandra, and she is saying, "Lord, I can't believe that you are here. I've been chanting your name every day and praying that you will walk into my direction, that you will walk into my life, because Prabhu, you are everything to me. You are everything to me. And so look at me. Look at how I am. I don't even have the strength again, I think, to move on. I don't. And this is why I'm asking of you, Prabhu, take me out of this distress. Take me out of this physical world. I have endured so much. I've lived to see so much happen in this world, even the inequalities. The inequalities and the biases that are there. The bias, people can be really biased at times. They can be unjust, and the inequality is there because they are looking at me and they are saying, she is a woman, no? She's a woman, and being a woman, what does she know? What does she know? She doesn't know how to chant the Vedic mantras, to perform the Sandhya or the Havan. When in fact, she was taught by Matang Rishi, her guru. She knew to do all of these things. But sometimes, you know what? In order to learn, we become very, very quiet. We sit quiet. Once there's a wise bird sat on the oak tree. And this wise bird sitting on the oak tree would observe all the passers-by journeying and out of the forest. And more he listened is more he learned. And more he heard is more he knew. And so he was able to tell those who were good people and those who were bad people. Because even the times in the forest, you have robbers too, you know. You had the bandits too. So the bird observed those who were coming, who were merchants, those who were good people, who were farmers, and those who were travelers, and those who were also the very vicious, bad people. And so, through observation, this little bird was able to learn. Sometimes, my dear friends, we can learn and know everything. Not because you learn and you know everything, you will behave like a parrot. We become very quiet sometimes and silent, and we listen and we look and we observe, and you are able to tell so many things. It doesn't mean because you're not speaking or you did not play an integral part means that you are less knowledgeable or you don't know. And this is what's happening with Devi Shevari. You know, she's being very quiet and she says, let them do what they want to do. I will sit and observe. I am going to get the same result. And you know what happened? Those who were praying in the mandir, especially some of the other Prohits and so, Sri Ram didn't even go in there. Who did he come to? He came to Devi Shevari. And you know how did she describe herself? She described herself in this very verse of Ramayana. Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama. Bolo Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Adham ati Adam Adham ati Nari Dina Mahamaya ati Mama Adhari Ragupati suno bana Ata Manahu Bhat kara anata Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Shri Ram Jaya 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 Om Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Jaya Ram Shri Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Rama Prabhu Shri Ram Chandra ki jai Adam 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 Ati Nari Tinehu Mahima Amma Abhakari Kaha Raghupati Suna Banai. She says, Lord, you wouldn't believe how people think about me. You wouldn't believe what they say about me. You wouldn't believe the kinds of conversations they have about me. And you know what Sri Ram turns to her and says? And so what? And so what? So what if they tell something bad about you? What if they talk about you? What if they spread rumors about you? You know what? Pay them no mind. And guess what? Understand that जाति पाति कुल धर्म भराई, बन बोल पहचान और चतुराई, भगति है नारन सो है कैसे, बिन जिस ब्रेक देख मन जैसे. This is the words of the Lord Sri Ram. What did he say? He says, "Oh Shivari, you are thinking that you are the lowest of the low, that you are dull-witted, that you have come from a lineage that nobody recognizes, that people despise you, that people bad speak you, that people think of you in a very, improper way. But I am saying to you, O Shivari, despite caste, despite kinship, despite lineage, despite reputation, despite power, despite connections, despite accomplishments, despite all of these things, if a cloud comes in the sky, pregnated in the sky, but doesn't have a drop of water, what is the use of this cloud coming in the sky, swelling itself and professing that I have rain? It makes no sense. Then why should you bother with those individuals who are clueless about me, my name, my form, and what I stand for? This is why Jati Pati Kula Dharma Bharai. Don't worry about all of these things, O Shivari. Because at the end of the world, the end of this very mission of life, none of these things will matter, but only the relationship we have built with God and for God. This is why today, for 10 beautiful nights, we have had pravachan and satsangs and different panditjis coming and joining, in satsang. Unfortunately, I didn't know that all of them was my relatives that were here. Pandit Parishram Maharaj, Pandit Rajesh Maharaj, Panditji. So many of them coming and joining right here, all related to me, not knowing. However, it is some good deed, some good action that the late Dr. Singh performed in his life. To have all of these wonderful people coming, Brahmanas, joining here in Satsanga, joining in puja and worship and bringing the name of the Lord, because you know what? He did what he had to do, his objective, his mission was accomplished. And this is why today we celebrate his life. We celebrate his life because what he lived for, he was able to receive this at the end. What he lived for, he was able to receive it at the end. Performing worship to the Lord, singing the name of the Lord, glorifying the name of the Lord. The only thing left for us to do is to get up and dance now, all of us. So if you want to dance, you can join in dancing also tonight a little bit. So we join in glorifying Bhagwan, because you know what? Shivari is about to be rewarded. She was about to be rewarded because the Lord Sri Ram says, don't worry about who has to say what. Guess what? I am before you. I am saying to you, I am going to bring that liberation in your life. What is the goal of this life, my dear friends? The goal of this life at the end is to attain moksha ke dwara, liberation. Nothing else will matter. The connection, the ministers we know, the shoulders we rub with, the house we have, the motor vehicle we drive, all of these things, it is not going to matter, devotees. What is going to matter? Not even your profession is going to matter. Because at the end of the day, if we don't build a relationship with God, you see, even Dr. Singh, being a medical doctor, a physician, even in his medical practice, he was able to bring God in a part of his daily life. And it reminds me so much of our Gurudev, Jagat Guru, Swami Shivananda. He was a medical doctor. Being a medical doctor, he gave up medical practice to take care of the sages and saints, because he said, you know what? Everybody is running to the doctor when they're sick, when they're ailing. And the Panditjis, they are going to the people's home day after day, year after year, performing their puja. And when they are sick, nobody calls them. Nobody brings even as one paracetamol for them, not even one Lucozade or one Gatorade, and say, here, take this. You've been serving me. You have been doing so much for me and my family. Hmm? Soon as the child gets sick, you reach by the Panditji's home. Panditji, please, jhare and pukhe this child. Hmm? Or the child get better. Thank you, Panditji. Thank you, Panditji. Jai Bhagwan. It is a joy to serve, yes. But Gurudev Swami Shivananda, being a medical doctor also, you know what he says? Who is going to look after the sages? Who is going to look after the saints? They have dedicated their life to service and serving the people and serving Dharma. And this is why he says, you know what? There's enough physicians to see the general public. I am going to take care of the sages and the saints. I'm going to take care of the lepers, the, the people who nobody wants to look after. I am going to see them. Leaving his medical practice in Malaysia and coming back to India. And taking care, and bodily, they are the saints, the sadhus who can't walk. Could you imagine? They can't walk. They lean up on a tree because they can't move. And he would go and lift them up bodily and bring them to Swarg Ashram at the banks of the holy Ganga, at the foothills of the Himalayas, at our ashram there at Rishikesh. And so he would nurse them back to good health, nurse them back to health. And so they were able to teach and preach the name of the Lord again. You see, it is about humanity, humanitarian service. When you can do something for someone. Like, for example, one of our family cool Panditjis came home yesterday to visit, and I didn't even know they were coming. Very senior Panditji. And he came for one little thing to do. And you know how many people will charge so much money for it? Just to put a stamp on a document and declare it. They will take so much money to just do that. And I took the document and I said, give it to me. One stamp, one signature, and I said, Jai Shri Ram. You can go. You can go. So, if you can even do something for someone, what does it cost you? What does it cost you? At the end of the day, the name and the fame and your repetition, what is going to count at the end, my dear friends? Dr. Singh created all of these beautiful things, this ashram. Did he take anything with him? Did he take anything with him? Nothing. Nothing. But you know what he created and what he's taking? He's taking the blessing of building this ashram, the blessing of the community service, the blessing of the Sant Sabha, the blessing of writing and reading the scripture. So tonight we celebrate his life. And so too, all of you, one day you would have to write your own autobiography. Have you thought of it yet? Well, tonight Swamiji is telling you, think about your autobiography. Think about what it is your life is and what it is going to become. And most importantly, I said it last day I was here, and I'll repeat it again. What is your legacy? What is your legacy? What are you going to leave behind for others to remember you by? What are the things? You see, we would all remember Dr. Singh because he has established something that will go on for generations as long as it is nurtured. Yeah? Mr. Singh, Errol Singh, as long as it's nurtured, and all the members of the family also. Vishy and everybody. As long as this is nurtured, the seed has already been planted. Just keep watering it and let it keep growing. Do the things that he wants you to do. This was part of his life and part of his legacy. Let it continue. Shivari. She receives the darshan of the Lord Sri Ram. She bows to the Lord, and you know what? He rewards her. He says, Navati bhakati kula tahi pahi sarvadana suni bharu man mahi prathana bhagat samat karar magha darsharat mama katha prasangha. He says, I am now going to bestow to you Nava Bhagati Dham, 9 types of devotion. If anybody in this world, regardless of who you are, Chinese, Syrian, Venezuelan, don't matter who you may be, if you chant the name of the Lord or perform at least one of these qualities out of these 9, you don't have to do all 9, you know. If you just do one, I will reward you. I will reward you. And so, what is the Nava Bhakti Dham? The 9 qualities? Perhaps I will tell you next time. Time for me has expired now. So, perhaps we'll share the Nava Bhakti Dham another day. But one thing for sure, he left, is the glorification of the Lord. Let us glorify the Divine Lord. अयोध्या वासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम
अयोध्या वासी राम राम दशरथ नंदन राम
अयोध्या वासी राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम
श्री राम 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 दशरथ नंदन राम
पतित पावन तनिक जीवन सीता मोहन राम
पतित पावन तनिक जीवन सीता मोहन
राम 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 बोलो राम राम राम
राम बोलो राम
राम राम राम बोलो राम 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 अयोध्या वासी राम राम दशरथ नंदन राम
श्री राम राम दशरथ नंदन
पतित पावन तनिक जीवन सीता मोहन राम
पतित पावन तनिक जीवन सीता मोहन
हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
सीता
हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम राम
हरे राम 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 सीता राम
हरे राम 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 सीता राम राम हरे राम 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 सीता राम सीता राम 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 सीता राम हरे राम 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 सीता राम 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 श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम I'm not seeing anybody dancing yet. We want somebody to dance, right? Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. 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 Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Hare Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Ram. Ram Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram Ram Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Sita Ram 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai 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 Ram Bajrang Bali ho Bajrang Bali Bajrang Bali ho Bajrang Bali Bajrang Bali ho Bajrang Bali Bajrang Bali Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Baba Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Baba Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Suno Hanuman Baba Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Baba Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Baba Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Ram Lakshman Janaki Jai Bolo Hanuman ki Om Namo Hanumate Namaha 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 Jai Guru Shivananda 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 Om Namo Bhagavate Shivanandaya 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 Jai Guru Shivananda Jai Guru Shivananda Jai Guru Shivananda Jai Guru Shivananda Jai Guru Krishnananda Jai Guru Krishnananda Jai Guru Krishnananda Jai Guru Krishnananda Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Om Namo Narayanaya Bolo bolo Om Namo Narayanaya 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 Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya Om Narayanaaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Narayanaaya Krishnaya Paramatmaye Namo Namaha Om Mantrahinam Bhaktihinam Yad Pujitam Maya Devam Paripurnam Swami Om Kayena Vacha Buddhyatmana Va Karomi Yajnam Parasme Narayana Iti Samarupayami उमसतु मा सतगमय
तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय
मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय त्वमेव माता
च पिता त्वमेव
त्वमेव बन्धु
च सिका त्वमेव
त्वमेव विद्या
सर्वं त्वमेव
त्वमेव सर्वं
मम देव देव
लोका समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोका समस्तः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम प्रेम से बोलो श्री वृंदावन कृष्ण भगवान की श्यावर रामचंद्र की सत्य सनातन धर्म की जगत गुरु शिवानंद सरस्वती महाराज की श्री रामानंद सरस्वती महाराज की सकल पंच की जय जय सीताराम Jai Sitaram to everyone once more. It has been a wonderful pleasure joining with the members of the Hindu Royal Society, the Gita Ashram and Yoga Center, and of course being here for the period of time to bring peace to that Atma, to the soul. Tomorrow is the Sraddh Karma, or which we call the Dashgarth Puja, which will take place at the Felicity compound religious site. And then, of course, on Tuesday will be the final Antishti Karma, which is known as the Bandhara and Gita Path Puja. So, devotees, it has been a great blessing joining with all of you wonderful devotees, neighbors, friends, and the Hindu Royal Society family, and all of you for having us, the Shivananda Global Missions, SKCS, the Sri Krishna Chaitanya Sabha, and also the wonderful students of the Caribbean Hindu University of the SKCS. At this time, I'll pass you over to Mr. Errol Singh, the president of the Hindu Royal Society, to greet you tonight. Hari Om. I'm yours truly, Swami Sadasivadanda Saraswati Maharaj Ji. Blessings to everyone. Om.
One, two. Hari Om, Namaskaram, Sitaram, everybody. Sitaram to our Swami Sadasivadanda. I have to get it correct. To all the pundits who are here, Sitaram to you. Welcome to our ashram once again. It was a very enjoyable evening. It reminds me a lot of Dr. Singh, including the katha, because every day he would do Sandhya Puja, pick his flowers, have his fruits every single day. And if he doesn't do it in time for 6 o'clock, it will be done because he will never miss it, right? And on mornings when he wake up, 9 o'clock again, he would have his puja. He does Havan every evening at 6. He does japa every morning. He will do his exercise at the same time because he'll walk and do it to exercise at the same time. He does pranam. He teaches me how to do it. Well, he used to. And then on evenings when he's finished his reading of the Bhagavad Gita, he would encourage the people watching him online to join him in meditation. And of course, for those of us who would be here on the days we have people. And that's, it wasn't just part of his life, this was his life. He would usually say he retired 20 years ago, but over a 5-year period, he'd been saying that. So it was a lot longer than that. That he retired and decided to spend the rest of his life serving God. So tonight, as the Swami asked if anybody should dance, one person who would have definitely been dancing would have been Dr. Singh. He dances all the time. Every time we have live music, if you tell him to dance, he'll start dancing instantly. If he's at the airport and somebody is playing steel pan, he'll go and dance. If he's in Maracas Beach and a DJ is playing, he'll go and dance. So imagine for here, right? Especially on his birthday, every year when he's here, he's 6 months in Canada, 6 months here. He's always in time for Diwali. Of course, it's just him and I for Diwali. And his birthday, all the neighbors, his friends will come. He will definitely dance. We'll have cake. It's a time he really enjoys. We will spend Christmas alone again. And All Year's Night, we have a very festive time. The 6 o'clock Sandhya, we turn that into a celebration. And of course, we spend Shivratri together, and then he would head back to Canada sometime in April or maybe March. But for the last 2 years, it was different because with the COVID, he was here a little longer. We actually celebrated 1,000 satsang. So he was counting twice a day how many satsang he did. And it so happened that 1,000 was falling on Indian Arrival Day. So we made it a special occasion. We invited people to sing and it was very special. We advertised it, and so we were live. And as soon as the borders were open again, he was quick to go. And his plan was to come back and don't ever go back again. Right, so many things he left as part of his legacy. In Trinidad, he did the Krishna Leela, right? Vishy, Dr. Vishy Bihari, he played the part of Krishna in the Krishna Leela. And he made history in that. When I say the Krishna Leela itself was a big thing at the time in the media and so on. In those days, it was easy to be on the media to get them coming. Now they break style, right? He taught himself Sanskrit. He didn't know Hindi so well, so when he's reading from the Sanskrit, and people watching him from India will say to him, read in Hindi, but he doesn't know Hindi. So he will continue his Sanskrit. He translated his version of the Bhagavad Gita. He calls it the inspired version, the gospel of perfection. He always talks about your duty and your devotion goes hand in hand. So you have to do your duty, whatever it is. A couple of things he's well known for, more so abroad. Sometimes people, you would hear about certain people and you wouldn't hear about other people when it comes to history. He was one of the people who was very instrumental in, he would always share these stories with me, and I always encourage him to do his autobiography. And our last plan was to do it in the form of video, and then I would help him in point form, and we would eventually write it, but it'll have to turn into a biography rather than an autobiography. He always told me it's a lot of work because after doing the entire Bhagavad Gita, he told me that was a lot of work. So when Quebec wanted to be an independent country in Canada, that meant breaking up the country, and he risked his life to, during the funeral, one of his nurses spoke about she went up for election, and he went up for election too. And these are the things he did over there. And he actually was very instrumental in stopping the breaking up of the country. Another thing he did was he started the Canada Day Parade. There's an article on it online, you can go and read it, done by Canadian media, of course. He would talk about it so much. Sometimes he shares stories with me. I think it should be documented somewhere, and this is why I always encourage him to do the autobiography. So he started off, of course, he got funding, but it was just him and maybe two other people walking with one flag. That's how the parade started. People would laugh. And then next thing you know, the whole of Montreal is parading. And they marked that day up until this year. Well, they continue. Other people are in charge. They would invite him as a special guest, as the founder of it, and other parts of Canada follow suit. And this very picture here was taken out on one of those days where he's in the motorcade. He was too old to be in the organizing, but he is always invited. Right, so tomorrow will be day number 10 or night number 10, but we continue for 2 more nights after that. We have Pandit Naresh Maharaj who will be coming. So, for those who've been coming every night, you can come and support. Um, right, so I want to thank Vishy, Dr. Vishy Bihari, who's been working very hard, making sure all these things go well. Tomorrow we have shaving, a lot of preparation. Then on Tuesday is the Bandara, a lot of work, right? So he's been working very hard. Doctor's schedule is not an easy one. So we want to thank him for his hard work. We have the neighbors who are coming around every night and supporting us. We have Mala all the way from Freeport. And Swamiji, you have fans here in Central, in Launch Park, because special menu was prepared by people who volunteered to do it, right? So, so you have fans here. Right, so we want to thank, of course, the hardworking people. A few of our members are sick. The people who come all the time, they're not very well, so that means more work for the rest of us, right? So we have, they say sometimes God sends somebody. He himself might come, but in a form you wouldn't expect, right? So we have the pallet man here. He started to come from Shivratri this year. Every year, the doctor will tell him to come do the puja, and he's always coming, but can't reach. But this year he managed to come from Shivratri, and he's been with us since. And it's a good thing because he's been able to help us with a lot of things. An extra hand is always welcome. And then we have Marlon here, who has been with us for the past few months. Good thing too, because usually I'd have to go all the way to Champlain and come back. But because he's around, I don't have to make that drive whenever we have anything here. Right, and then we have Molly Mahis and Usha Mahis, who been preparing food and so on over the nights. A lot of work. They use their own funds and so. And Sherry been here. She was very instrumental in preparing meals and conducting things. There was a time when one of the pundits came. Actually, it was 7:10, and he didn't reach us yet. He got lost. And nobody was here, not even the pundit. So I messaged on the group, and Sherry wasn't coming that night, but she decided she's going to come, right? And, all of a sudden everybody reached, including the pundit, right? So he left at 5 and took 2 hours to reach, and you came from there. So, some people not good with directions, either giving or receiving. Right, so thanks to everybody. We still have a night tomorrow. We have Boise, who might not forgive me for forgetting his last name. Although I interviewed him on a previous show, and so he wouldn't forget me, but he may not forgive me for that. But in doing so, you ask people questions and you get to know them a little more. But he will be here with musicians and everything, and we have Timothy who too would come and do some songs. Timothy is a guy quite at the back there. He is one of the people who used to come regularly and do Sandhya Puja with Dr. Singh. But being a doctor himself, I always hear Dr. Singh talk about the chiropractor Timothy. And it wasn't until we actually met here I realized, oh, it's you. Yeah, because being in entertainment, I know everybody, almost everybody in entertainment, because of being on TV and interviewing people on things. So I knew him, and then we had Family Day and thing. We'd have bands come and perform. So I knew him. I just didn't realize it's the same Timothy. It's not if the second time I got his name mixed up with somebody else. There was a time somebody wanted to sponsor a show, and they wanted somebody to write it. And I called somebody named Timothy, not realizing it's the wrong Timothy, because the one I'm supposed to call is a writer by profession. But Timothy showed up, and I didn't realize when I said, what are you doing here? And strange enough, when I scheduled the meeting for the man to meet Timothy and his producer, who is a filmmaker called Jeffrey. At that very same time, Timothy showed up with a friend also called Jeffrey. They came to look at the air conditioned unit. Yeah, so that's how small the world is. Right, so I think I talked too much. So we have food prepared by somebody who volunteered to cook for you. We know what you like. So, right, so you can join us and enjoy the rest of the night. And thanks for being with us. And we look forward to great things.
This beautiful bhajan. Swamiji showed today, of course, Friday. So, and this beautiful bhajan for the form of the Devi to our dearly departed doctor. Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani. Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, O Bhavani, O Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, O Bhavani, O Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani, 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 O Bhavani, O Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jaga Janani Bhavani. All the hardworking ladies from the society, this bhajan is for you all, right? Jagmag, 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 jagmag. Kalyani, oh Kalyani, oh Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagat, Jai Jagat, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Oh Bhavani, Oh Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani. Jagmat, 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 jagmat. Sheesh Kalyani, oh Kalyani, oh Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Om Bhavani, Achal Baldani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani, Om Bhavani, Om Bhavani, Mata Achal Baldani, Jai Jagadjanani Bhavani.